yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Well, you know the address, and you know the pitcher who's going to try to complete a sweep. And the hitter, you got to know him very well yesterday. He gave the Yankees the first 2 games and played a large role in those wins. It's time for baseball tonight, as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Toronto Blue Jays in the final game of a 3-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball, along with Ken Singleton. I'm Michael Kay. Well, the Yankees had a doubleheader yesterday, day-night doubleheader. They won both games, and right in the middle of both games was Ichiro Suzuki with 7 hits, and he played a huge role in both of the wins.
Yeah, complete arsenal was on display. Ichiro, a big hero in Seattle, and the things he did in Seattle were on display at Yankee Stadium yesterday afternoon. Offensively, defensively, a great catch. He had 3 hits in the first game. In the nightcap, he came back with 4 more hits. As Michael said, 7 hits in the game, 4 stolen bases in the second game of this doubleheader last night. Here's the game winner. Drives in Curtis Granderson. The Yankees won 2-1. Ichiro, the big hero in both games.
But his old team didn't help, Kenny, because they got swept by the Orioles. While you were sleeping, the Orioles won again, another extra inning game. So with the Yankee doubleheader sweep and the Oriole win, the Orioles just a half game behind the Yankees. Let's take a look now at tonight's New York lottery pitching matchup. Aaron Laffey will go for the Blue Jays 3-5, 4.55. Phil Hughes for the Yankees 15-12 with a 3.96. And Phil, last time out against the Red Sox, really was outstanding.
Outstanding then. It's been outstanding lately. He's had 4 wins in his last 6 starts. The high hard one was on display at Fenway Park. Good high fastball, number of strikeouts for Phil Hughes. He comes away with the victory for the New York Yankees, hoping to do it again tonight.
Will he need the bullpen? Will he need the closer? Boy, Rafael Soriano has been one of the more valuable Yankees. He's just been amazing. He saved both games yesterday. We'll take a deeper look when we return right here on Yes. Games for the Yankees yesterday is 2 behind Jim Johnson, so in second place in the American League on the saves leaders list. Well, you know him. That's Ken Singleton. I'm Michael Kay. Kenny, everybody would agree that Derek Jeter's probably the MVP of the season for the Yankees, but Rafael Soriano was close behind. You lose Mariano Rivera, the greatest closer in history. Everybody predicts doom, and this guy's been great.
He's been great. 42 saves, despite the fact that he didn't pick up his first save until May the 10th. Of course, that's about the time that Mariano went down, and then Soriano has done the job from that point on to close out ball games. This is yesterday, the first game of the doubleheader. Picked up save number 41. In the nightcap, save number 42. He's been wonderful for the Yankees this year, subbing for Mariano Rivera.
I asked Soriano a couple moments ago, can you go tonight? He said, maybe. We'll see. Does Phil Hughes need him? We'll see. Lineups, first pitch, baseball coming up next, right here on Yes. Music and computer world by the professionals in your tri-state GMC dealer and by Cheeseburger, the most creative and fun restaurant on earth. Visit cheeseburger.com. Beautiful night sky descending on the Bronx. Yankees have taken the field, looking for their 9th sweep of a 3-game set this year. Won the first 2 games yesterday. Phil Hughes on the mound, and here's the Blue Jays starting lineup that he's going to face. It's presented by Bank of America. Brett Laurie, the third baseman, will lead off. Batting second to center field to Colby Rasmus. Edwin Encarnacion did not play in the game yesterday, either one, with a sore right big toe. He'll DH today, he'll hit third. Adam Lind at first base will clean up. Batting fifth, playing right field, Moises Sierra. Kelly Johnson, the second baseman, bats sixth. Catching and batting seventh is J.P. Arancibia. Adani Echevarria at shortstop will bat eighth, and batting ninth and playing left field, Anthony Goes.
Here's Phil Hughes. You can see him right there taking his final warm-up tosses before we get this one underway tonight. 26 years old. Seasonal numbers: 15-12, 3.96, 148 strikeouts, only 40 walks for Phil Hughes, who's 4-5 in his career against the Toronto Blue Jays. Here is our pitcher scout report on Phil Hughes. He is the leading winner on the New York Yankees this year. He's going for Sweet 16 tonight. He's working on 6 days of rest. Now, that's a little extra rest, but at this time of year, it's a long season. That doesn't hurt a pitcher to get some extra days in there. It gives him a chance to recover, maybe throwing even harder tonight. His last 6 starts, he has been wonderful, working to an ERA of 2.29. He's been dealing.
Well, the Yankees would like more of the same tonight. Kind of a nice chill in the air. Not cold by any stretch of the imagination, but you know that summer is kind of in the rearview mirror. Brett Laurie digs in. Phil Hughes is ready, and let's do it here in the Bronx. First pitch swung on and missed. 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and we're underway. Lance Barrett is the home plate umpire. And the 0-1.
I think that one thing that was lost in the by a score of 2-1. The Jays only had 3 hits in the second game. All 3 were singles. And as a team, the Jays are hitting just .217 this month. Well, Phil Hughes can throw along the lines that David Phelps did in Game 2 yesterday. Although Phelps did not get the win, he was excellent.
Well, this Blue Jays lineup, 7 of the 9 batters hitting under 250. Most of them under 240. Pitch outside. Laurie 1 hit and 9 at bats in this series. Missed outside. Who's looking for a 16th win?
His last start against Boston, 7 strikeouts and no walks in 7 innings. He was very good around the plate.
And he went from 0-2 to full. That was his start against Boston. 7 1/3 shutout innings, just 1 walk.
Oh, 1.
And there's a strikeout. 1 away. Let's check out the Yankee defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Ichiro's in left, Granderson in center, Swisher over in right. Infield, Nix is at third because A-Rod's DHing tonight. Jeter at short, Cano at second. Casey McGee will get the start at first. Russell Martin is behind the plate. And Phil Hughes is on the mound. What a night for him last night. 7 hits, stolen bases, a lead-saving catch in left field. He was outstanding. His best day as a Yankee.
Yeah, I talked to him in the dugout before the game, and I said, "You had a great day yesterday." And he said, "It's in the past." So I said, "Well, have another good night tonight." He said, "Okay."
Lined and caught there by McGee. Rasmus broke his bat, and McGee with a quick step to the glove side for the second out.
That might have been Rasmus's best chance at a hit so far in this series. Went 0 for 8 in the doubleheader yesterday with 3 strikeouts. That was called a fair ball by first base umpire Gary Cederstrom as a nice lunging catch by Casey McGee at first base.
And there's a strike to Encarnacion.
You saw the numbers on Encarnacion. He's reached the 40 home run mark. It's a career high, of course, and 102 runs batted in. Having a tremendous season. This is the guy in tight ball games I would be very careful with the absence of Jose Bautista. He's also earned himself a nice 3-year deal, that $27-28 million.
2-2. You see what a difference a year makes. And the combination of Encarnacion, as Kenny mentioned, Bautista, that's a nice middle of the order if they keep him healthy.
Yeah, but Encarnacion has missed some games, including yesterday's doubleheader. He's got a sore big right toe. And hitting starts from the ground up, folks. That's the foot that you push off on weight shift on that the back right foot. And to dig in, all that sort of thing. You need to have balance at the plate to hit. That could affect his style tonight. We'll see.
The 3-2. Swing and a miss. 93-mile-an-hour fastball. 2 strikeouts for Hughes as he retires the Blue Jays in order. Toronto nothing. And the Yankees coming to bat. Twice now, former Yankee Aaron Laffey will be on the mound, and here's the Yankees starting lineup that he's going to face, and it's presented by Lexus. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter leads off. Batting second and playing right field, Nick Swisher. Robinson Cano at second base will hit third. Cleaning up the DH, Alex Rodriguez. Russell Martin will catch. He'll bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing center field, Curtis Granderson. Casey McGee at first base will bat seventh. Red hot from last night, the left fielder Ichiro Suzuki bats eighth. And batting ninth and playing third base, Jason Nix.
Left-hander for the Blue Jays tonight is Aaron Laffey. Pitched 11 games for the Yankees. last season. You can see he's worked both as a starter and as a reliever for the Blue Jays. His last start was a short one against the Red Sox at the Rogers Center. It lasted just 3 2/3 innings. Less than a hit per inning, 45 strikeouts, not overpowering, 32 walks. There's our pitcher scouting report on Aaron Laffey. His last win was August the 5th. That's been a while. And here's a guy who walks a fine line, throws a lot of changeups, and he's not overpowering, so he really has to hit his spots and not stay in one spot too often. And you can see he's been struggling somewhat lately. His last 10 games, both as a starter and as a reliever, his ERA is an even 6.
Well, he will face Derek Jeter, who punishes left-handed pitchers. Been punishing a lot of pitchers. A 13-game hitting streak for Derek. And as the first batter of the game, hitting .386.
You know, it's like the first batter there. It's like when, remember your kid used to open a cereal box hoping for the prize? Mm-hmm. You knew there was a prize. It's like opening a box, the prize is sitting right on top. Right out of the box. Everybody's happy. He gets a base hit.
And you don't have to dig your filthy, grimy hand to the bottom and
you have
contaminate
to go
all the cereal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As your brother's watching you do it.
And then goes tells mom and dad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The 1-1. Driven to right field. Moises Sierra runs it down for the first out. Why don't we check out the Blue Jays defense, which is brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Goes Rasmus and Sierra left to right in the outfield. It's the infield. It's Laurie. It's Echeverria, Johnson, and Lynn. Aaron Sivia behind the plate. And Laffey is on the mound. You know, speaking of injuries, we should note that our colleague, Al Leiter, a.k.a. last night Lucas Mucus, after contaminating the entire booth, was so sick today that he could not make it to the game, so he has an excused absence. So it wasn't as if he was let go. He's actually ill tonight.
Yeah, I actually texted Al today and told him to get well soon. And we had the booth wiped down and decontaminated overnight.
Kenny and I are wearing hazmat suits.
Al's probably got his smoking jacket on and ascot watching the game.
Pipe. Yeah.
Feet up.
How inconsiderate he was really did shock me yesterday.
In what regard? Touching
us, touching everything that we had to touch. He was germ filled. Look. Let's hope that we hold up, King.
Yeah.
The 0-2. 1-2. It's already gotten one of us. Meredith is a little under the weather.
Yes, she is.
But unlike Al, she showed up for work. Slice foul. Hey, let's look at the game time weather presented by Big at OT. It's a nice night, 66 degrees. 70% humidity, not much wind. It's partly cloudy and cool. What's tomorrow or Saturday? I think the end of summer.
I think it's tomorrow.
Okay. So this is a little preview.
Let's not get the winter too fast.
Swisher could not down swinging.
Laffey's deal is to change speeds. I've always felt against pitchers who rely a lot on the changeup. You really got to stay back. Can't commit too often and just too quickly. And think about hitting the ball through the middle to the opposite field. Jeter hit the ball hard. Swisher committed. Kind of struck himself out on a pitch that was out of the strike zone.
That'll bring up Cano.
Ooh. Look where Laurie is. I mean, he was playing in the 5.5 hole. I don't think I've seen Cano lay down a bunt this year. Not that I can remember.
Neither have I.
Laurie still doesn't believe him because he hasn't moved.
I think he'll give him a single.
Yeah, he will.
Now he's moving in a bit.
He waited till the pitch was on the way. Cano was out early today despite the fact he's got a 4-game hitting streak, taking extra batting practice.
Count 1-2.
Eduardo Nunez was in that group. You know, I wonder, Michael, when hitters are going well, I really didn't want to take any extra practice. I thought I was in the groove, and I might actually do something to take that groove away. You understand what I mean?
Yep. That's why hitters don't like to talk about hitting when they're hitting well.
Or hitting streaks.
Paul O'Neill, who will rejoin us tomorrow.
Yeah, that's
when
right.
I would bring it up to him, when I was a right boy, he would just flip. Now, why'd you go and do that? The 2-2.
Well, you told me he had a 10-game hitting streak.
I said, well, you know, you're on a great streak now, Paul. What are you doing well? Come on. Why are you bringing that up? By the way, I think it's an outstanding indication of it.
You know what? That wasn't bad. You had to turn and see if it was really him.
Tomorrow you'll turn and it'll be him.
Yeah, it will be.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the first inning at the stadium. Shattered bat and a looper into right, but Johnson runs it down for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. So both pitchers retire the side in order. We'll go to the second, and Adam Lind will lead off. And here's tonight's question. Which of these teams on the outside looking in has the best chance of making the playoffs? And here are your choices. The Angels, the Brewers, the Dodgers. The Tigers lost today to the A's. A's beat them up. Well, text your vote to 42951. Standard text messaging rates apply. Let's see. I believe that the Pirates are winning over Milwaukee. That's late in that one. 7-5.
Wouldn't you think the Tigers for the division?
What are they? 3 got?
They started today 2, but you said they lost, so
yeah.
they're 2.5, depending on what the White Sox are doing.
White Sox play Kansas City. That'll be at 8 o'clock. Here's the National League wild card. Braves have a healthy lead. The battle is really for the second wild card. Lynn rips one into left center field. That's going to split the outfielders and roll to the wall. And Lynn will be at second with a leadoff double here in the second. And to help you further with your choices for the text poll, here's the American League wild card situation. The A's and the Orioles are tied. So that's it right there. The Angels are 4 back, the Tigers 6 back of the wild card, so they're closer to the Central.
Yeah.
And the Rays are 6 back of the wild card as well. And for those that missed it, the Orioles won another extra inning game, 15 in a row for them, and they swept the Mariners in Seattle.
They might be the only team in baseball that plays for a 9-inning tie.
Amazing. Yesterday was Adam Jones, a 2-run home run in the 11th. And they beat the Mariners, and the Mariners started Felix Hernandez. And the Orioles are off tonight. So the Yankees can make it a full game in the East with a win. The 0-1. Fouled away.
Looking at the youngster Moises Sierra, who does have some tools. He has a very strong arm, some speed, good size. He hits the ball well. I was watching him in batting practice. He hit one almost to straightaway center field, not near where the monuments are.
Swing and a miss, kind of waved at it. Third strikeout for Hughes. Now let's check out the Delta team leaders. Take a look at the Yankee win totals for their starters. Look at the guy who's at the top, Phil Hughes, tonight's starter, then Haruki Kuroda, CC Sabathia, and Ivan Nova.
Of course, a couple of years ago, Phil Hughes had career high 18 wins.
Ripped into left center field. That is going to be in there and past Ichiro and goes to the wall. Johnson will get himself an RBI double, scoring easily as Lind, and the Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead.
Well, Johnson fills the same gap that Lind did with his lead off double. And we'll take a look at the pitch. It's supposed to be in, but you can see it leaks back out over the plate. And Ichiro can't come up with it, and the Blue Jays are going to get on the board first. Kelly Johnson, who has been struggling in the second half of the season, hitting under 200 since the All-Star break, drives in a run.
Here's JP Arancibia. He is hitless in his last 13 at bats, and he's won for his last 24. Two.
We talked about Arancibia yesterday. He started the second game and had a pinch hit appearance in the first game. He's got some power, but he'd been on the disabled list with a broken hand, and as Michael said, since he's come back, he has not really gotten it in gear.
Foul back.
He's got a big swing, and sometimes it takes a while to calibrate it.
You know, Kenny, it's going to be so hard for the Blue Jays to really calculate what they have for next year.
Yeah.
They haven't gotten a good enough look at people, and you know, if you just say, okay, we think they're going to do that, and you run them out there next year, and they're not what you think they are, then you've wasted another year. A lot of people thought the Blue Jays were going to contend this year.
Yeah, that was one of them. I think I'd picked them as one of my surprise teams, but the surprise was on me. They had so many injuries that they were kind of hanging in within the race, just on the periphery, but then everybody started getting hurt, and John Farrell saw his team kind of go straight downhill from that point on.
The 1-2. Tipped into the glove of Martin. Strikeout number 4 for Hughes, and the second out of the inning.
Yeah, we were kind of seeing the same sort of thing we saw in Hughes' last start in Boston. The high fastball has always been his pitch to get hitters out to pick up his strikeouts. Just around the letters, just around the edges of the strike zone. Arancibia, yeah, I didn't like that either when I did that. Foul tipped it and the catcher held it. But he becomes Hughes' 4th strikeout.
Pitch outside. Hechavarria, 4 for 9 with a 3-game hitting streak. Got a live bat. They love him in the field. He's got great range, and we saw yesterday some arm.
And he can hit a high fastball. He went 3 for 6 in the doubleheader yesterday.
And he's playing all 3 games because the starting shortstop for the Blue Jays, Yunel Escobar, has been suspended for 3 games because of questionable messages on his eye black. And he was suspended by the Blue Jays, and Major League Baseball was on board with that suspension. And that suspension, 3 games, if you calculate his salary, will cost him over $90,000. One, 1-2. That's a 3-game streak that we talked about with a home run. Be interesting to see what they do next year. They love Hechavarria at short, but Escobar's in the middle of a long-term contract, and he doesn't want to move from short. The 1-2.
Makes you wonder what he was thinking when he wrote that message on his their patches, actually. And
he said he thought of it as a joke. It's something that the players say in the clubhouse, but it has a very objectionable meaning.
Yeah.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner at second. Grounded to third, backing up is Nix. And he gets Hechavarria for the final out of the second. But the Jays get a run on 2 doubles. 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the second. A-Rod's going to lead off. A's. The first 18,000 guests in attendance are going to receive a Yankee jack-o'-lantern stencil courtesy of Party City. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. 1-0 Blue Jays as we go to the bottom of the second. It'll be the middle third of the Yankee order against Aaron Laffey. It'll be A-Rod, Martin, and Granderson. Alex, 4 hits in his last 17 at-bats. He has not had much success against Toronto this year. Just 2 hits and 21 at-bats.
Yeah, he took an 0 for 8 in the doubleheader yesterday.
And heard it from the crowd.
Yeah, he did. Well, he struck out 5 times. And hit into a double play. Get back up on that horse.
The 1-0. Popped up. Kelly Johnson makes the play for the first out. Here's Russell Martin. I
forgot to mention Russell Martin was out early hitting today. He's somebody whose fortunes with the bat have been on the rise of late. Most of the year he's been under the 200 mark. Got himself up over 207 starting the game tonight. Yep. And 9 home runs since the All-Star break.
17 overall. And the 1-1. 2-1. Last 11 games starting to settle in. Pitch outside.
Yeah, Laffey's fastball will not get much higher than 90, if that. His changeup there has to be, I've seen 86, 82 this inning. There has to be more of a discrepancy. Keep those batters off balance.
And Martin works a walk.
Another thing to be aware of, Laffey's been walking hitters that are, I wouldn't quite call it an alarming rate, but higher than it should be. And the Blue Jays pitchers actually lead the league in base on balls. That's not good. 517 walks of naked 18 now handed out to Blue Jays pitchers. That's only complicating matters. Since July 26, Laffey has walked 24 and struck out 23.
There's a strike. Granderson sitting on 39 home runs. Trying to go back-to-back years with 40 or more homers. One and one. That one's popped up behind the plate. Aaron Sibia gives it a look, but it's in the seats.
We talked about Granderson's improvement against left-handed pitchers and the fact that he's hitting so many home runs off of lefties. Now, over a 2-year span, he's hit 30 home runs against left-handed pitchers. And you can see the Major League Baseball leaders in homers. Josh Hamilton sits on top. Miguel Cabrera right behind him. Encarnacion, Ryan Braun, Curtis Granderson, and Adam Dunn. All having powerful seasons.
Nice play by Aaron Sibia.
Wow. Laffey really yanked that one in the dirt. You know, Granderson with the 30 homers. We watched his last pitch. Just a little short.
Wow.
He spiked it. In Yankee history, there's only been one other left-handed hitter hit more home runs than Granderson over a 2-year period. And that was Babe Ruth. He hit 39 against lefties over 2 years. I think he hit a lot more against righties, though.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Granderson down on strikes. Out number 2.
Second strikeout for Laffey. Pulled the string and had Granderson out in front. You know, people say that Granderson strikes out. He's got a club record. He had it last year. He's broken it this year. This is the way he makes out. Strikes out.
I'll tell you what, Kenny, I wonder if you feel the same way. You talk to people around baseball, and there doesn't seem to be that much of a negative attached to striking out anymore.
We mentioned it yesterday that combined, on average, there are 15 strikeouts a game by both teams in Major League Baseball.
Casey McGee with a fly ball down the right field line. Long run, but it makes the seats.
Let's go back to August, and this is Casey McGee facing Aaron Laffey, and this is well hit. Gone. Somewhere in another reaches of the Rogers Center. And that's the last time Casey McGee's hit a home run.
Popped up. Right side. Johnson makes the play, and that'll do it here in the second. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left. 2 in the books. Blue Jays 1, Yankees nothing. Let's go to the third. As we go to the third, here's tonight's MetLife stat of the game. Yesterday, the Yankees swept doubleheader without homering in either game for the first time September 16th, 1997 against the Red Sox. And it's been rare this year for the Yankees to win games where they don't homer. And yes, they took 2. Yankees offense stalled yesterday. Left a lot of runners on base, but they got the hits when they needed, I guess, and they got good pitching. Anthony Goes will lead off against Phil Hughes.
Infield guarding against the bunt. This guy has all types of speed.
Lincoln scoreboard, it's 1-0 Blue Jays. Grounded foul. 39 games Goes has been up here, and he's stolen 15 bases, so that's a portent of things to come if he becomes an everyday player. He's got to get on base, though. Hitting just .212. He hit down in the minor leagues, but this is a different venue, different level for sure.
Yeah, you know, players take time to develop at this level. It's very rare the guys to jump into the league like Mike Trout and just kind of take over.
Right.
Who certainly going to be Rookie of the Year and maybe the MVP. I think it depends on what the Angels do.
You know, it's going to be awfully hard, Kenny, for anybody to win the MVP other than Miguel Cabrera if he wins the Triple Crown.
Yeah, it's very rare that has occurred, winning the Triple Crown.
The last time was 1967.
Yastrzemski.
As goes walks. First walk issued by Hughes.
You know, it wasn't actually an outright win for Carl Yastrzemski. He tied for the home run lead with Harmon Killebrew. Well, both of them are Hall of Famers, but they both had 44 home runs apiece.
Let's see if goes. Laurie fouls it away.
He's gone 17 times and made it 15 times.
You know, Laurie reminds me of the way he swings the bat, King. Dustin Pedroia. Like puts everything that he has into every swing.
Yeah, Pedroia is a really good high fastball hitter.
Snap throw to first. Goes back.
Just a reminder from Russell Martin, I know you're over there. Don't stray too far.
There he goes. Ground ball, grabbed there by Hughes. He thought about second, takes the out at first. So that kept the Blue Jays out of the double play.
Nice play by Hughes coming up with that one. If the ball continues on through, would have gotten to the Cano in time just to step on the bag? Maybe. Hughes doesn't see enough daylight, decides to go to first base and picks up the out on Laurie. The Blue Jays move another runner into scoring position.
Here's Colby Rasmus. Foul back. A double by Lynn and a double by Johnson has given the Blue Jays a 1-0 lead. That was last inning. Now a runner at second base with one out. And Rasmus at the plate. Count 1-1.
Rasmus showed off his arm yesterday. Threw out a runner to plate and almost got another one. Very accurate from center field.
Runner goes to third. Throw to third. Plenty of time. Morton guns down goes.
Martin to Nix. Watch him step into this throw, and as Michael said, plenty of time. Goes finally comes into the picture. He didn't have a big enough lead. That was the problem. He's got the speed, but his lead was very short. And you can see not even close. This is the big leagues. Catchers throw better, pitchers hold runners better. It's only the third time he's been caught in 18 attempts. But he'll remember Russell Martin.
Two-two.
I think it should be pointed out that Russell Martin had a free go, and there's a left-handed hitter at the plate. You just step right into that throw, as opposed to a right-handed hitter having to step around him and make the play.
When you look at Colby Rasmus, he stands right over the plate. And I believe that hit his back foot, so he'll take first base.
Yeah, this will go as a hit by pitch, and it's curveball right off the toe. And the interesting thing about this, he didn't react.
Here's Encarnacion. Big cut. 0-1.
You can see he has a very good on-base percentage as well, because he's been drawing a lot of walks. People have been, pitchers have been very careful. Teams have been very careful with Encarnacion this year. Said home run total started to climb. Base on balls did as well.
Of Encarnacion's last 8 hits, 6 of them have been home runs.
And when we've seen him hit them, there are not many cheapies in there. They're pretty well tagged.
No doubt about it. That one is hammered down the left field line. It's a foul ball. And the Thurman Munson fan gets a souvenir. As he was putting on his windbreaker too.
You always love to see the reactions of fans when they do come up with a foul ball, and you know how happy they are, elated. Oh man!
Now I don't know if you really saw the beauty of that play. He kept the beer in his mouth and made the play. Didn't even drop the bottle. Speaks of his priorities, but he got the ball on the beer. 2-2. Oh, a hot shot off of Nix, and it rolls into left field. Rasmus will go to third. We have seen that a lot at third base in this series, Kenny.
Well, we've seen some rockets down at third base, and that is Nix's turn over there.
They're going to give a base hit.
Yeah, they should. Oh, that was a bad hop. We've seen it with Chavez over there, a couple of them.
Laurie.
Laurie's got his share. Watch that ball come up a little higher than Nix can, just over the glove. Slowed it down a little bit.
So first and third, 2 outs. And that'll bring up Lynn. Lynn, a .241 hitter, but with runners in scoring position, hits .339 and .343 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position.
Yeah, here's a guy who a couple of years ago drove in 100 runs, but he's been kind of ravaged by injury this year, last year. Back problems crop up from time to time, and Blue Jays also sent him to the minor leagues. They thought he wasn't in shape.
.21 pitches this inning for Phil Hughes. Those are the numbers we gave you with runners in scoring position.
You know, with the predominantly power for the Blue Jays, right-handed, and Bautista, who's out for the season with wrist surgery, and Encarnacion strike to ball ratio to 54 pitches. Blue Jays are hoping that Lynn, when healthy, can be a nice left-handed complement to those right-handed hitters.
3-1. And he walked him. That'll load the bases. And Larry Rothschild wants to have a bit of a talk. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
Chance for Phil Hughes to get a breather, talking to the pitching coach Larry Rothschild. You saw Joe Girardi in the dugout. I don't know if this was a strategic walk once he fell behind on the count, because there was a base open. Even though it loads the bases, it kind of reminded me of the days of El Duque. It seemed to me he would walk two people, load the bases to get to the guy he felt he could get out, and then he would get him out.
Well, we've got Rasmus at third, Encarnacion at second, and Lind at first, with Sierra at the plate.
Yeah, the rookie's at the plate. And he struck him out the first time.
On that pitch. And he hits him. That'll force it a run, and the Blue Jays lead 2-0. That really got him square.
Second batter has been hit this inning. Blue Jays have a run on one hit this inning. And Sierra is going to take a little bit of time to walk this one off. Somebody tell him he got an RBI out of this.
Oh, square in the ribs.
Ooh, the tough way.
So 2-0 Jays, and that'll bring up Kelly Johnson, who had an RBI double in the second.
Well, if Hughes had the man up there he thought he could get out in a tough situation, he didn't do it by hitting him. Now he brings up another hitter who had a hit against him his first time up.
Count 1-0. Got the fastball by him. Encarnacion at third, Lind at second, and Sierra at first. 1-1.
Appears that Hughes is having trouble throwing his changeup for strikes. And against left-handed batters, he kind of predominantly becomes a one-pitch pitcher.
This will be the 30th pitch of the inning. And he gets the call on the outside pitch in the count 1-2. Changes the whole at bat for Kelly Johnson.
Yeah.
And he struck him out. A big strikeout for Hughes. So with all the walks and the hit batters and the one hit, just one run. It's 2-0 Blue Jays. We're at the bottom of the third. Kettle One. Gentlemen, this is vodka. Please drink responsibly. By your tri-state area Volkswagen dealers, visit VWDealer.com. And by Turkey Hill, the official ice cream of the New York Yankees. So the Yankees get out of the top of the third inning relatively unscathed, and we are joined in the booth by our colleague, Meredith Marakovitz. And Meredith, a lot of things going on the injury front with the Yankees, so why don't we start off with Mark Teixeira?
Well, there is good news in the fact that he is showing signs of progress. That calf feeling a little bit better, but there is still some tightness, some stiffness in that left calf. So not out 100%. He said to the touch you can still tell it's swollen a little bit. But today he was going to resume a little bit of baseball activity, taking some swings indoor in the cage. And then Monday he'll head to Tampa to kind of amp up the workout and do some more baseball activity. But he's a guy that said he'd like to get into some games and take some swings prior to returning to this team. So Instructional League is starting down there next week, so he would like to do that, but he's not going to rush it. There's not a lot of time left, but he also doesn't want to come back too soon like he did last time. It's
really a delicate balance, and you hear him say, you know, it's still sore to the touch. You see the Lincoln scoreboard, 2-0 Blue Jays. You wonder, will he get back in time, let's say, for that last series against the Red Sox here at the stadium? Well, there was even some talk from general manager Brian Cashman, who said they were hoping they'd have him back. Ichiro hits one deep to right field. That ball is gone. See ya. A bullet home run for the red-hot Ichiro Suzuki. And the Yankees are on the board. It's the Blue Jays 2 and the Yankees 1. 7 hits yesterday, and he starts off tonight with a homer.
Well, I reminded him before the game, he had a great game yesterday. He said it was in the past. He has started off tonight much in the same way that he finished yesterday. A rocket into the lower seats in right field. Sierra going back, and he's not going to get back quickly enough or far enough. And the Yankees are on the scoreboard with one swing.
Kenny, he's doing a lot of this against lefty pitching. All 4 hits in the second game.
Oh, my goodness.
Or against left-handers yesterday.
Well, back in his heyday, it really didn't matter, did it?
Yep. And again, Girardi starts him against the lefty and does not play Andrew Jones in this series. 8 for 9, 2 doubles, a home run, 2 ribbies, 3 runs scored, and 4 stolen bases. And I know you were in the clubhouse yesterday. I heard that he was kind of giddy after the game.
He was. I mean, he was certainly smiling. Wouldn't you be if you went 7 for 8 with 4 stolen bases? He certainly had a great afternoon and evening. And I asked him what was it like to go through a day like that. And he said, I'm sad it's over. I don't want it to end. But Kenny, as you pointed out, he had to move forward and push past it. Another question I had for Ichiro was, how do you continue that success against left-handed pitching? Are you doing anything different in the batter's box? Have you changed anything with your swing or your approach? And he said, no, I can't understand the success. I don't know why it's happening, but I'm feeling good seeing the ball well now. And as you can see, that carried over into tonight.
There's a strike to Nix in the count, 2-1. All right, so finish up on Teixeira. Do they think he'll get back before the Boston series?
It's iffy right now. They're hoping that he's back so he can get in some games and get some reps in that batter's box. But again, it's not something that they're going to bring him back unless they feel like he can bust out of the batter's box and do everything like he could prior to getting injured. So right now it's wait and see. And Mark Teixeira said, look, I'm not going to put a date out there. I'm not going to put a time frame on it. I felt like maybe we put a little bit too much pressure on myself and other people to get me back last time. This time I'm not going to do that. I'll be back just as soon as I can.
The thing that scares me, Kenny, is that last year a similar injury and Jeter was out a lot longer.
Yeah, I believe it was about 6 weeks. But when he did come back, he was on fire, and it's been that way throughout this year as well.
3-2 count on Nix. All right, now Pettit pitched yesterday, and from the outside looking in, looked okay. 5 shutout innings, but he wasn't totally pleased with his stuff.
He wasn't, and as I reported on the pregame show, he thought the command not quite there, but feeling good about being able to get through 5 scoreless innings, throwing 75 pitches, and the biggest part of it was the fact that today he didn't feel any pain, only what he called good soreness, what he expected after throwing that amount of pitches. The big thing for him is getting his legs back under him. He thinks Monday in Minnesota he may be able to go 85 to 90 pitches, just depending on how that game goes, but it's about his legs right now. He doesn't feel anything in the ankle, nothing in the arm. It's about getting back into pitching shape.
All right, speaking of legs, Brett Gardner.
Brett Gardner not yet active. The only thing that Joe Girardi would really say about it is that he thinks it's going to happen soon. He would only be a pinch runner to start, and you have to consider the fact that they have to make a move on that 40-man to bring him back, so they're certainly weighing their options whether or not it makes sense in subtracting a player to bring him back only to pinch run.
Yeah, but Gardy's been out here the last few days working on his game.
Grounded, foul.
And Kenny, I can tell you this, he told me he started a batting program yesterday, so maybe in about a week and a half, he's going to be able to swing the bat again. But right now, not a player in the batter's box, and I think that's what's making this so tough. The fact that, yeah, he can probably give you some defense, and he can run, he can bunt, but if you go up there and they know you can only bunt, I mean, it's pretty easy to tell you.
Now, I don't know if anybody knows the answer to this, but if he can run, and you have an expanded roster, what would be the harm of activating him and just having him pinch run, other than the fact that you don't want to lose somebody that's on your 40-man roster right now?
Well, that's it. I think it's the 40-man roster, and you look at yesterday with that doubleheader, not knowing exactly what you were going to get out of Andy Pettitte and not knowing how deep Phelps can go. You would need a lot of pitchers out of that pen, maybe not making the move there or deciding what player you decide you're not going to need anymore and you want to kind of make that 40-man move for. So I think they're still weighing their decision.
All right, one final injury report. Al Leiter, what do you hear about him?
I hear he is day-to-day questionable right now. I've heard a report that he is sleeping.
Questionable?
He's questionable for tomorrow. Actually, I don't think he was scheduled to work tomorrow.
He's always listed as questionable.
All I know is he got me sick, and I showed up today. So.
Good job, and we'll see you on the postgame with Bob Lorenz and John Flaherty. Thanks, Meredith.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Okay.
Derek Jeter checks his swing and fouls it off, so Jason Nix works that walk. Leadoff home run by Ichiro. The walk to Nix, and now Jeter's at the plate.
Oh, Ichiro kind of opened the door, didn't he, with the home run? Get things started. It was the Yankees' first hit of the game. And followed that by a walk, and the Yankees threatening to score some more runs here in the third inning. That's second time through the order as well.
Count 1-1.
Jeter hit the ball hard his first time out, lined out to right field.
Bunted right back to Laffey, and he gets Jeter for the first out. We'll see if they score that a sac bunt, and they do.
They do, although I think that Jeter was going for the surprise on Laurie and didn't quite get it far enough to, or close enough to the third baseline, and is thrown out by the pitcher Laffey. It looked like he just had a slightest hint of a false grab there, but comes up with it and makes the throw accurately to first base to Lynn.
That'll bring up Swisher. Has not been a good month for Nick so far. 10 for 63 in September. That's 158.
See how much attention the Jays paid to Nix. He can steal third.
Popped up behind the plate and out of play. Hey, you can go yap about tonight's game on Sports Yapper. Free on all iPhones and Androids. Tying runs at second base. We're in the third inning. It's 2-1 Blue Jays. Way outside.
We talked about the fine line that Laffey has to trot upon, and he has kind of gotten off of that. He's starting to fall behind on hitters. He walked Nix. He gave up the home runners. Bruce Walton, the pitching coach. Has to make his pitches. Very little room for error. It's not as if he throws a fastball down the middle that somebody's not going to put into play. It's not like he can blow it by anybody.
The 2-1. 3-1.
Swisher, one of the best hitters on the Yankees. Plate discipline. This is what I like to call a pick and choose pitch. 3 balls and a strike. You want it in a certain area. Now, that wasn't it, but it was called a strike. Nick's probably looking middle in, and this one just hit the outside corner.
And the 3-2. Strike 3. Swisher down looking. He thought that Laffey threw him 5 balls.
Well, you know what Nick's thinking. One of those 2 is not a strike. The 3-1 pitch to hit the outside corner, and then the 3-2 pitch to hit the inside corner. I thought it had plate. Yeah, that's certainly. Nick Swisher's a guy who relies on his batting eye, but he sometimes it can betray you when you take a close one. It had a hint of the inside corner, and that's the way Laffey has to pitch.
And Cano takes low. These have not been great situations for Cano. So he has a 301 average, but only 78 ribbies, and this could be one of the reasons why. 185 hitter with 2 outs and runners in scoring position this year.
Yeah, we're used to him driving in runs at a better clip. And what do you have? 118 runs batted in last year, one of the league leaders. But this year, like I said, not even at 80 yet. Despite the fact he's got a career high in 30 home runs with 30 home runs.
Count 2-0.
Laffey's not the type of pitcher who can continue to fall behind on counts. He got away with it with Swisher. Made 2 pretty good pitches right on the cusp of the strike zone to catch him looking. But now he's forced himself in a position where he's going to have to do almost the same thing with Cano. He's behind 2 balls and no strikes.
Did he hold up? Yes, he did. Said Adrian Johnson. Count 3-0.
Yep, he did. The body turned more than the bat did.
Missed inside. So Cano works a walk and passes the baton to Alex Rodriguez. And he gets a visit from the pitching coach.
This is a reminder, a little breather with 2 outs.
Hit the road, take the Yankees with you this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Yankees out-of-market game. That leaves 13 more games live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Yankees.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. I'm just wondering, Kenny, if you haven't ordered it by now, I'm kind of doubting you're going to order it with 13 games left.
You know, I get mine done in spring training.
Of course, that's the one you do it. You get every game. I was watching the Oriole game last night.
So
A-Rod has to jump out of the way. Otherwise, he would have been plunked in the count 1-0.
You can see Aaron Sibia's shift over to the inside corner. That is a little further inside than he wanted it. A-Rod doing a little dance at home plate.
Nix is at second, then Cano at first.
Lappy's having the type of inning that Hughes had in the top half of this inning.
Count 1-1 as A-Rod fouls it back.
Hughes walked 2, hit 2. He gave up 1 hit and gave up a run, left the bases loaded. Laffy's given up a run. He's walked 2 in this inning. And his pitch count's going up. Third innings have been tough on both pitchers.
And the count 2-2. Blue Jays with a run in the second, a run in the third. Yankees answer back with a run here in the bottom of the third. And Ichiro home run leading off the inning. Then Nix walked, the sac bunt by Jeter moving him to second. Swisher struck out looking, although he thought he walked twice. And then Cano worked the walk to put runners on first and second, 2 outs. 2-2 count. Rip foul.
Change up, A-Rod out in front. Trying to get in on him again. This whole at bat, they're trying to keep the ball on the inner third. And it makes you wonder whether Laffy has good enough stuff to get in there. Time and time again. When does he change his approach and maybe throw that change up away?
Two. High fly ball, deep right. Sierra back. 1 foot on the track. He makes the play for the final out of the third. But the Yankees get on the board because of that man, Ichiro Suzuki. It's almost been impossible to get him out. He lines one into the seats in right center. A home run and a 2-1 Blue Jay lead. quiz. Here's the question. Who are the only two Blue Jays with 200 or more hits in a season since 2000? We'll find that out in the bottom of the inning. (2-1) Blue Jays lead.
Now we saw both pitchers struggle in the third. Let's see which one of the two settles down the quickest.
Aaron Sibia leads off. It'll be the bottom third of the Blue Jay order. And he fouls back. You can see he's just a tick off.
Yeah, not quite there yet. He does have a big swing, and he's always struck out a lot, but he's always had a lot of power as well. Good home run hitting catcher.
And a strike. You know, one of the biggest rumors around the Blue Jays happens to be that John Farrell, their manager, is extraordinarily desired by the Red Sox organization, where he used to be a pitching coach.
Yes, he was.
And if you go by the thought, as Aaron Sibia swings and misses for the first out, that Bobby Valentine is in fact going to be let go at the end of the year, then they're going to need a manager. And they really look at him as a really bright baseball guy. But he has another year left on his Blue Jay contract. And there have been some rumors that the Red Sox might want to make a trade to get John Farrell. You see what he's done. There's his resume. 8 major league seasons as a pitcher. Pitching coach with the Red Sox. Oklahoma State assistant coach. Indians director of player development. So he's touched a lot of different levels of management, and then the pitching coach on the Red Sox championship team. And he's from the Jersey Shore. Looks like something's up with Phil.
Yeah.
As Stevie Donahue and Joe Girardi make their way to the mound.
I wonder if there was any discussion in between innings, because I couldn't really see anything that would lead to having Joe Girardi and Stevie Donahue out on the mound. Looks like Phil is want to come out. Let's take a look at the last pitch to Echeverria. Anything? A little leg kick there at the end.
Mike convinced Girardi, who quickly left the mound.
So John Farrell is a candidate.
If the Blue Jays would be amenable to trading him to the Red Sox, if they like Farrell and Farrell wants to go there, they're probably going to want a lot for a big time manager.
He's signed through next year.
Yes.
It's not that. It's happened before where managers have been traded.
Wasn't Manny Sanguine traded for?
I believe so. Was it Chuck Tanner?
Chuck Tanner.
Yeah.
And Pinella was the last one between Seattle and Tampa Bay. So it can happen. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, and it goes to the backstop. And Echeverria is going to reach first easily. And Martin is mad at himself because that went off his glove. We'll see how they score, but it should be a strikeout pass ball.
It should be, although the pitch was a little high. We'll see what happens here. Target's low and away.
Got to catch that. And it is scored a pass ball.
You're right, Michael. KPB. It almost looked as though he was expecting contact. Didn't get it. Two of the Blue Jay youngsters in play here. Echeverria at first base and Ghost at the plate.
Pitch high.
Now I'm sure there's going to be some other candidates. I heard that the first base coach for the Blue Jays, Torey Lovullo, is a candidate as well.
Well, when Valentine was hired this year, the new GM, Ben Cherington, really wanted to hire Dale Swing, who ended up being hired by his old boss Theo Epstein in Chicago to manage the Cubs. There's a strike. We'll see how it plays out, but it's strange that you would trade a manager within your division. It could come back and haunt you.
Well, depends on what you get.
Yep. All right, we'll give you Farrell. You give us Pedroia. 1-1. 1-2.
Yeah. They'll be waiting a long time before that happens.
Goes reached on a walk in the third, then was gunned down trying to steal third, and by a lot. Swing and a miss. So 3 strikeouts for Hughes in the inning, but he still has another out to get.
Right over the top.
8 strikeouts in 3 2/3 innings.
You can see that Goes has some tools. He can run. Looks like he's a decent fielder. Has a strong arm, but his hitting is going to have to develop and catch up to the rest of those abilities.
Laurie chases a high fastball.
Are we dealing with the rare 4 strikeout inning?
We're right there. We're 1 away. 1 strikeout and 1 strike away. And the pitch. Missed with the breaking ball. 1-2. A lot of strikeouts and a high pitch count as well. He's at 77 pitches right now. Two and two.
We're talking about John Farrell. Maybe he would like to stay, Michael, because he didn't feel he got a real shot with this team this year with all the injuries. And I think it's kind of rare where teams have a 2-year run of severe injuries on their team. So maybe if all the pieces come together, he might be able to do something.
3-2, strike 3. And Hughes strikes out the side. In fact, he strikes out the side with 4 strikeouts. First one, Aaron Sibia. Then Echeverria strikes out and reaches on the pass ball. Then goes down. And then Brett Laurie looks at a breaking ball. 4 strikeouts in the inning. Time for the answer to the New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz. Who are the only two Blue Jays with 200 or more hits in a season since 2000? And the answer is Shannon Stewart did in 2001 and Vernon Wells in 2003.
Yeah, we mentioned Shannon Stewart yesterday because he was also a tremendous base stealer.
Kenny, Yankees just announced that in the history of their team, which started in 1903, that is only the second time that a Yankee pitcher has struck out 4 batters in an inning. And the other one, it was recent. It was last year. And A.J. Burnett did it on June 24th against Colorado. Kind of hard to believe. Strike.
Well, we saw Phil Hughes bounce back in a big way from his rocky third inning to strike out 4 batters. Let's see what happens there and Laffey here. He's not exactly a strikeout type pitcher, but he had somewhat of a shaky third. Gave up the home run to Ichiro, walked a couple.
Boom! 2-2.
Drops in a changeup on a 2-1 pitch. There's another one. That's when you're ahead on a count against a pitcher who likes to throw a lot of changeups, and you know that he's kind of in the pitching in the backwards mode instead of coming in with his fastball, which maybe 88, 89. Just sit there and just wait on one and just guess for one pitch. And if you get it, changeups in the middle of the plate are like open for business. It's time to go. Bruce Walton, who pitching coach, who saw his staff decimated by injuries. 3 pitchers in 1 week were out for an extended period of time. That is tough.
You know, Kenny, we just thought of another manager that was traded. It was recent. Ozzie Guillen.
From the White Sox to the Marlins.
Will Farrell be next? He just wants to get a win tonight. Three-two. Spoiled that one.
That's got an excuse me emergency swing. John Farrell has seen his Blue Jays go 23-38 since the All-Star break. 15 games under.
That's a rough go.
That is, especially for a team that was, you know, as I mentioned before all the injuries set in, they were kind of hanging in there. Not to say that they're going to make the postseason, but they could decide other teams' fates a lot better.
3-2. Fouled away. This will be at least a 10-pitch at bat. That's what's coming next.
Yeah, Russell Martin has made Laffey work. Remember, there's nobody out. This is the first batter of the inning.
And Martin works a walk. Visit MLB.com/fan guide to register for a chance to win a VIP experience for 2 to a 2012 Major League Baseball World Series game presented by Scott's, the official lawn care company of MLB. Here's Curtis Granderson. Granderson swings and misses. Granderson with 179 strikeouts after striking out in the second.
That is a boatload.
And we touched on this earlier, Kenny. It seems like you talk to baseball people, they go, well, you can only make one out if you strike out, and they will trade the strikeouts for the long ball. They do not want a guy who strikes out a lot who doesn't hit home runs, though. And I've always wondered, why would you have a guy like Adam Dunn on your team? And people say,
we'll take
he's going to hit 40 home runs.
Yeah, exactly. And he's coming up on 200 strikeouts.
The 0-2. 1-2.
Remember, a former teammate of mine, as we look at the strikeout leaders, Lee May used to say, if I don't strike out 100 times in a season, they're going to think I'm not trying. Now it's, if I don't strike out 150, 200 times a season, they're going to think I'm not trying.
Runner goes, a delayed steal, and Russell Martin's in there.
Russell Martin, this is going to be his 6th stolen base without being caught, and he runs this as well as anybody on the Yankees. The delayed steal, you take 3 little hops and then take off, and you're trying to catch either the catcher or one of the middle infielders sleeping, and by the time they were awakened, it was too late.
Yankees been running this month, just one behind the Royals for the most team stolen bases. The 2-2. Fouled away.
Now here's where the strikeout can hurt you, because you won't advance the runner. You're either trying to drive him in or certainly get him over the third.
Laffey sets the 2-2. And he gets the job done. A slow roller to second. Bobble again, and everybody's safe. And E4 on Kelly Johnson.
You know what? I wonder how much of that is a product of Granderson going down the line pretty well. You know, that always remember, put pressure on the fielders. Make them make the play. Don't just jog down there. 1, 2, 3, double dribble, maybe a triple dribble. Let's see how Granderson goes down there. Not really putting the pressure on him. He was jogging. So Johnson helps him out. I think Granderson knew he got the job done. Wow, that ball refused to be caught. And now the Yankees are really in business. Still without a hit this inning.
Here's McGee. A walk, a stolen base, and an E4. And the Yankees are set up. 1-0. The 1-0. 2-0.
Yeah, falling behind counts is not a good thing when you don't have that 95 to throw it by somebody. And we're starting to see some stirring in the Blue Jay bullpen. And this is a stall tactic to get somebody ready. The last start for Laffey was against the Red Sox at Rogers Center. It lasted just 3 2/3 innings.
He's got 2 outs to go. Brad Lincoln is up. Yankees come into action today a half game ahead of the Orioles. Orioles went 4-2 on their West Coast swing. Finished it up with a sweep of Seattle. Orioles are idle today. So if the Yankees win this, they'll be a game up with 13 left to go.
And the Orioles finished their road trip in Boston at Fenway Park.
And that starts tomorrow night. Yankees finished their season with 3 against the Red Sox right here at the stadium, and the Orioles finished their season with 3 against Tampa Bay. So a 3-0 count on McGee. Do they turn him loose? Do they green light him? You got Ichiro on deck. Taking all the way, 3-1.
He won't be taking this next one. He probably remembers that home run he hit off Laffey in Toronto.
The 3-1 way outside, and that loads the bases. What a rally. A walk in E4 and a walk. Bases loaded, nobody out.
5 walks now by Laffey. And probably the hottest hitter on the Yankees at the plate. You know, it was interesting yesterday, Michael. I had mentioned that Ernie Banks is saying back in the day was let's play 2. And Ichiro tied Ernie Banks on the all-time hit list.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of the fact that he was that close to the Mr. Cup. And
with his home run, Kenny, he ties Julio Franco on the all-time hits list. 2586. So Laffey with a tough number at the plate. Missed outside. Look at the numbers with the bases loaded. 402 with 4 grand slams. One.
Ichiro is such an accomplished hitter that every once in a while you see him take a swing at a pitch and almost purposely don't hit, so he gets another one. He did that against CeCe in Seattle. I think it was last year or the year before. And
loop to left. Long run for Laurie. Can't make the play. Can't get there.
Good hustle by the Blue Jays' young third baseman. That's the type of player he is. And he almost comes up with a great catch.
Now by sliding feet first, he's kind of moving away from the ball.
He's leaning back away from it.
Yeah. One and 2 on Ichiro. And the pitch. Foul away again. With his 7 hits yesterday, Ichiro's batting average as a Yankee went to .317, jumped 29 points. Breaking ball, very little bite, 2 and 2.
There are some hitters when they're swinging the bat really well, it doesn't matter what the count. If a pitcher makes a mistake, they hit it hard. This, as Michael said, no bite on this curveball, and the count levels at 2-2. So it's almost when you're really swinging the bat well, it's like you're ahead on the count the whole at bat, no matter what the count is.
With this hit in the third inning, his average with the Yankees goes to 321. And now it goes a little bit higher. He wraps that one in the right field. It goes up against the wall. 1 run scores. Granderson scores. McGee goes to third. And you can't be hotter than Ichiro. Another hit. 2 more ribbies. And the Yankees lead 3-2.
Well, you mentioned that no matter what the count is, we go to monster pitch by pitch. He's ahead. There's a pitch that missed. There's a swing and a miss. Count evens up. Fouled off 1 and 2. Fouls off another. Explodes another. Remember, he's looking for something he can get into. There's the mistake. That curveball did not get away. It was up and in. And Ichiro turned on it and knocks Laffey out of the game.
7 for 8 yesterday. 2 for 2 today. You do the math. 9 for 10. He's hitting 900. Not bad.
There's Ichiro standing near second base. Yankees have 2 hits. He has both of them. Home run and a double. Here's the line drive. It's the double. It's going to plate 2 more runs, give the Yankees a lead. Here's a look at the pitch by Laffey, his last pitch of the night. And we're going to take a look at this one on the Coors Light freeze cam. And freeze it right here, right on the sweet spot. It certainly was a sweet hit from a Yankee standpoint.
The freeze cam is the only thing cold about this guy lately.
Oh my goodness. You're absolutely right.
So second and third, still nobody out. Brad Lincoln comes on. And Jason Nix will come to the plate. Infield is in. Pitch outside. John Farrell makes a call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T.
Infield not quite all the way in, Michael. You can see about halfway. It's neither here nor there, right?
Well, they come in just far enough to get McGee, who's certainly not that fast. Jason has a brother, Lance, plays for the Phillies, so both bros are here in New York City. Lance is in Citi Field, where the Phillies lead the Mets 8-1 in the 5th. You see the numbers on Brad Lincoln.
Phillies scored 8 in the first inning.
Two-0. 2-1.
Lincoln's done a very good job of late. Allowed just 1 earned run over his last 10 games. That's over 11 in the 3rd innings.
There's a strike, 2-2.
So, Michael, we were wondering which pitcher would bounce back after kind of a shaky third inning. They each gave up a run in the third. It was Phil Hughes, 4 strikeouts in the next inning, and Aaron Laffey out of the game in the 4th inning.
Just missed. 95-mile-an-hour fastball, 3-2. Bases are loaded.
The Yankees have 6 walks in this game. You pass out that many free passes, you are flirting with danger.
McGee's at third. Ichiro Suzuki is at second. And Nix is at first. Derek Jeter at the plate. Derek's 0 for 1. He had a sac bunt back to the pitcher in the third inning. Lined out to right in the first. Infield drops back to double play depth. They'll give up a run for 2 outs.
This is one of those innings where you want to keep the line moving. Remember, the Yankees have only had 1 hit in this inning. That was the Ichiro double. They only have 2 hits in the game. Ichiro has both of them, a home run and a double. But the base on balls have fueled this inning. Plus an error by Kelly Johnson, the second baseman.
The 0-1. Breaking ball for a strike. 0-2. 327 with the bases loaded and 1 grand slam. That was against the Cubs. The 0-2. Gets a piece. Still 0-2. Yankees got a run in the third on the Ichiro home run. And 2 more here in the 4th on an Ichiro double with the bases loaded. So all 3 ribbies. Yankees up by 1, 3-2. Yankees looking to sweep this 3-game set. They took both games in the day-night doubleheader yesterday.
Jeter's been one of the most consistent Yankees with runners in scoring position this year, over 300.
And that average just goes up. McGee will score. Everybody moves up a base. The throw comes into Aaron Sivia. It's a base hit for Jeter. It's a 14-game hitting streak, and it's a 4-2 Yankee lead.
Well, we had mentioned the name Dustin Pedroia. Derek Jeter has 3 hitting streaks this year of 12 or more games. There's only 1 player in the league can say that other than Jeter, and that's Dustin Pedroia. So there's the base hit. Keeps the line moving. Bases remain loaded. Sierra shows off his strong arm. Man, that was a rocket.
Still nobody out here in the 4th, and that'll bring up Nick Swisher. He has struck out twice. Strange defensive alignment for the Blue Jays. It looked for a moment as if they were bringing in the left side of the infield. Now Echeverria backs up. Second and short, not quite halfway.
There's a cross up on that pitch, and that could have been very dangerous with the bases loaded. And Aaron Sivia out to talk to Lincoln. He was lucky he got leather on him and immediately called timeout.
"14 ribbies with the bases loaded this season, but just 3 for 14 for Nick." Ichiro, Nix, and Jeter, third to first.
Yeah, pretty good speed out there.
One and one. Missed outside. 2-1. Yankees could actually make this a laugher. They haven't had many of those, and rest some important people in their bullpen. High drive, right field. Sierra back, track, wall. See ya! A grand slam for Nick Swisher, and the Yankees lead 8-2. That is Swisher's third grand slam of this season. And the Yankees as a team have 10 grand slams, and that leads all of baseball for this season. It has been a dreadful September, but with one swing, it gets better for Swisher.
Yeah, right in the middle. Turns on it. Destination bleachers. Remember we talked about keeping the line moving? All of a sudden it turned into a conga line.
And Cano takes a strike from Lincoln. So the Rockies have 8 grand slams this season. The Yankees are on top with 10. "21 home runs for Swisher on the season, and now 83 ribbies. Count 0-2.
Here it is. Head down, follow through, sweet spot, and gone. It's right off of Wheaties box, that swing. Eight runs on 4 hits. 3 walks have scored this inning in an error.
Ground ball to second, Kelly Johnson. And that's the first out. By the way, the 10 grand slams for the Yankees this year, that matches the Yankees' single season record. He's breaking down that swing, isn't he?
Yeah, he wants to repeat it. You know, it's
breaking ball. A-Rod's a strike.
They've also hit 10 grand slams. 1987. Wow. In the last 3 years. 2010, 11, and now 12. 10 grand slams.
They've got the remainder of this game and 13 more games to go to break the record. Guy at the plate, tied for Lou Gehrig for the most grand slams in Major League history. Right back to Lincoln. You know, Lou Gehrig got a lot of company yesterday, Kenny. When Jeter picked up his 200th hit, it was his 8th season doing that. That tied Gehrig for the franchise mark, 8 seasons of 200 or more hits. And then yesterday, Chipper Jones picked up a hit, which tied Lou Gehrig on the all-time hits list.
And you don't do those sort of things unless you're going where Lou Gehrig is, and that's Cooperstown.
Here's the guy who started innocently enough with a walk. So the Yankees send their 10th batter to the plate. Here's Russell Martin.
A walk and then a delayed steal. The crowd's still buzzing. You know, the Yankees' last 8 games, each of them has been decided by no more than 2 runs. So they've been playing some tight ball games. They've won 6 out of 7. So this is kind of going against the grain for Joe Girardi's team of late.
The 1-2. Strike 3. Martin is down looking. So that'll do it for the Yankees. They score 7. Let's take a look at the big blows in this inning. Ichiro with a 2-run double, his 3rd ribby of the night. And then Nick Swisher says, oh yeah, there's 4 in one swing. A grand slam. Thank you, Bob. And we'll hear from Bob and John Flaherty and Meredith Marakovitz a little bit later on. How about this for a night? Earlier tonight, Patrick Espina won this 2013 Yankees edition Ford Fusion. Handed the keys by the captain of the Yankees, Derek Jeter.
Wow.
Gets an autographed baseball and gets a car. Nice trip to the ballpark for Patrick, so congratulations. As Colby Rasmus takes a strike. So the Yankees with a 7-run 4th inning break it open. And Nick Swisher got a huge ovation out in right field. And there's 7 runs in the 4th. That ties a season high for an inning this season. And on the Cadillac scoreboard, it all adds up to Yankees 8 and Blue Jays 2. So Hughes has struck out 5 in a row, including 4 in the previous inning. The 0-2. 1-2. Brett Cecil is up in the Blue Jay bullpen.
A long layoff for Phil Hughes, maybe a little tough to get back in the rhythm here, but he'll take the 7-run outburst. Support from his teammates as he goes to 2-2 on Rasmus leading off the inning here.
High fly ball, right field, deep, going back Swisher. He's on the track, and he'll make the play in front of the scoreboard for the first out. Six-run lead is not just laying it out over the plate, but you do want to throw strikes here.
Yeah, you don't want to be tossing in a leadoff walk. I mean, that's what started the rally for the Yankees last inning. Martin drawing that leadoff walk. An error, then another walk, a double, a walk, a single, and a grand slam. It just snowballed.
And a strike. Hammered to left field. Going back is Ichiro. He's there to make the play. Well, you can't hit it much harder than that.
He's been hitting him hard all season long. Edwin Encarnacion, his breakout season. He's had some decent seasons before, but not like this one.
And there's a strike to Adam Lynn. Lynn doubled and scored in the second and walked in the third. Here's Mark Teixeira. As Meredith told you earlier, he's going to be heading down to Tampa on Monday to begin more strenuous rehab on the injured calf, and they're just hoping to get him back before the end of the season. AB's under his belt if the Yankees make the playoffs, and he wants to play there.
Instructional league down there too. I remember those days, instructional league. You learn a lot of baseball. Base running, fielding. Wasn't so much about the hitting. You know, usually they had the best players down there, all could hit. It was just the finer points, turning young players into real baseball players.
And turning injured ones into healthy ones. Pitch outside. They've missed his bat in the middle of the lineup, but the more you watch anybody play first base other than him, you realize how much they miss him defensively.
I think another thing, we're just talking about how many close games the Yankees have had lately. Their last 8 games decided by a margin of no more than 2 runs, and you figured to put Teixeira in there, I don't think that would be the case. I mean, he was coming up on the 100 RBI season like he usually has. And this year it's going to be cut short by injuries. He's at just over 80.
They especially miss him in the lineup against the lefty pitcher, such as tonight.
Yeah.
You're playing a guy. No disrespect to either Casey McGee or Steve Pearce, but they're certainly not at the level of Mark Teixeira, both offensively and certainly defensively. And he lengthens the lineup as well. The 2-2.
Well, this was an 0-2 count. Now it's gone to 3-2. Hughes has taken 3 shots at the outside corner and missed.
Win battling.
Showed him a changeup and fouled it off.
You know, Phil is on his way. Big in victory here. Still a long way to go, but the pitch total is not good in the 5th inning. He's approaching 100. It's just the 5th inning, so he's not going to give the Yankees much length at all. And bats like this don't help. This is the 10th pitch of the AB, and he ends up walking it. So this has not been Phil's sharpest outing. He certainly looked much better than when he pitched against the Red Sox at Fenway.
And he's had 2 innings in this game that's kind of blown up his pitch count. It was the 2nd and the 3rd in particular. And even the 4th when he struck out 4 hitters. It takes quite a few pitches to do that.
Sierra driven deep to left field. Ichiro back, turning, looking, see ya. 2-run home run out in an eye blink. And the Yankees lead is now 8-4.
There's one of the dangers of walking hitters. He just laid one in there for Sierra, and the young hitter who've been seeing a lot of breaking balls to this point got a fastball, and you can see what got him to the big leagues. The ability to hit a fastball that's centered. Target's low and away, but the pitch is middle. And now a souvenir. Good side view, good quick bat. And a 2-run home run. Sierra's 5th of his major league career.
And that is, unfortunately for Phil, not an unusual thing. 1 behind Irvin Santana for the most home runs allowed in the American League. Pitch to Kelly Johnson's outside. And there's action in the Yankee pen. All the way. It's Derek Lowe. Grounded to first, backhanded by McGee, and he flips to Hughes, and that will do it here in the 5th. 2 runs on a hit, no errors, and no men left. A view from the McCombs Dam Bridge, and inside that stadium, the Yankees lead 8-4.
Tonight's Toyota text poll. Once again, the question: which of these teams on the outside looking in has the best chance of making the playoffs? And this is how you voted. Angels got 27%, the Brewers 10%, the Dodgers 33%, and the Tigers 30%. It's pretty close.
I think that's pro Mattingly.
I would go with that. But I think a lot depends on Clayton Kershaw. He's been injured. New pitcher for the Blue Jays, Brett Cecil.
And the first batter he'll face will be Curtis Granderson. Granderson reached on an E4 in the 4th inning.
Cecil, a pitcher out of the University of Maryland, was the closer for the Terps.
Cadillac scoreboard 8-4 Yanks.
Still just 25. Make that 26 years old now. He's had a birthday this season. And for a while, he developed a reputation of being a pretty good pitcher against the Yankees. He was a starter for quite a bit. The Blue Jays felt he wasn't in the best of condition. He's lost a lot of weight. And now working out of the bullpen. Kind of like those blue shades, don't you?
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Foul back here.
A little different.
Matches a uni. High popper. Just missed that one. Long run in for Sierra. Long run is going to drop.
Oh my goodness.
Boy, Kelly Johnson now playing a good second base. And give credit to Granderson hustling out of the box. He got himself a double.
Yeah, and Sierra looking back over his shoulder, and he points at Johnson. That's not going to go well in the dugout. I don't know what the wind is doing, but this is Johnson doesn't even make a move. And Sierra looks to see if he's there, and the ball falls. That had enough airtime for anybody in the stadium to catch. And you can see Sierra look for where's Johnson. And now he has to scramble, and he can't get there in time. This is not good. Not a crisply played ball. That's going to go as a 2-base hit.
Popped up. Lind makes the play.
Now watch Sierra. What's going on here?
Well, what's going on at the plate? They can't get Ichiro out. 7 for his last 7, 9 for 10 in this series, 2 for 2 tonight. Shows bunt, so a home run and a double tonight. Count 2-0. Remember the most hits you had in a row? He's 7 for 7.
I don't feel like bragging.
Come on.
10.
Really?
10 hits in a row.
You wanted to get up every inning. Wow. Over 3 games?
Over 3 games. 2 4-for-4s, and then the third day a 2 for 2. Before I made that was a rocket.
Nice.
My teammates, Rick Dempsey said to me, I'm glad you finally made it out, because it was like I was pitching a no-hitter. Nobody wanted to talk to me.
And they let him swing on 3-0, and he grounds it to Johnson for the second out as Granderson moves to third.
It started with a 4 for 4 off Dennis Eckersley.
Brand name.
I can't remember the pitch next to it, but I had another 4 hits.
And to not have people talk to you for 2 days, you're very personal. That must have been very tough.
Hey, well, you know, we were winning the games. Let's put it this way.
There's Jason Nix, 2 walks tonight. Must be some deception there because they're really late on 91 miles an hour.
Cecil was known for a good sinker, getting a lot of ground ball outs. He's just trying to pitch around this leadoff pop-up double. You know, on plays like that, you see the signs of teams that know the end is coming pretty soon. And that's why it's so important to get ahead in games, because then when you need them, you don't want to give them any excuse to think about even winning a game.
I think that's where the Yankees went wrong in Boston. They gave the Red Sox.
Games are too tight.
Yeah. Line drive. Base hit down the left field line and into the corner. Granderson scores, and Nix is at second with an RBI double. Yankees lead 9-4.
They couldn't pitch around that leadoff pop-up double. Granderson got his 17th double of the year, and Nix drives in a run. He's been good with runners in scoring position this year. Nix delivers with 2 outs.
There's Derek Jeter. They extended his hitting streak to 14 straight with an RBI single in the Yankees' 7-run fourth. Line drive, base hit in front of Ghost. Nix coming home to score, and he makes it. An RBI single for Jeter, and the Yankees keep pouring it on. They lead 10-4.
With Jeter's second consecutive hit, he's now 2 for 3 on the night, and that gives him 61 multi-hit games. And that is the lifeblood of a 300 hitter. Multi-hit ball games. And a solid line drive. Ghost shows me something here. Comes up with a strong throw to the plate. One hopper, but Nix with too much speed, and he's in there. We talked about that Ghost has some tools. I mean, he can run, he can throw. He just has to mature more as a hitter.
403 during this hitting streak. Strike to Swisher last time up, picked with a grand slam. Swisher, the 12th Yankee to hit 3 or more Grand Slams in a season. And the leader is Donald Arthur Mattingly. He had 6 in 1987.
And the thing about that for Mattingly, those are the only 6 he hit in his career.
How
all
weird.
in one season.
Johnny Baseball.
Some kind of hitter. Some kind of player. Let's put it that way.
Count 2-1.
I remember the first time I saw Don Mattingly was spring training. Yankees trained in Fort Lauderdale then. And I was getting towards the end of my career. And he was, of course, getting towards the beginning of his, just starting his. And I just remember watching him hit. I was watching BP and I was watching him hit. He got a couple of hits in exhibition game. He was playing first base and I got down to first somehow. And I just said to him, he was very shy. I didn't say much. And I said, you got a nice swing. Huh? I said, I think you're going to be around for a while. So just relax, play your game, and you'll be fine. And yeah, it turned out just about that way.
He did, and he was.
Yeah. And I think when players, I remember players doing that for me when I first came up. I remember the late Ron Santo was playing for the Cubs. I got to third base somehow at Wrigley Field. He basically said the same thing. Hank Aaron said the same thing. Felipe Alou was my teammate in Montreal, and he left the clubhouse early one night. My parents were out in the parking lot. He went over to my parents and told them just about the same thing, which I thought was really nice of him to do. But when you hear that as a young player, you're not really sure of yourself. And when a veteran player who's somebody you've watched on TV over the years tells you something like that, it gives you a lot of confidence.
3-2, and Swisher goes down on strikes for the 3rd time tonight. Yankees get 2 runs on 3 hits. They lead 1. We're going to the 6th. 10-4, good buddy. All right, let's take a look at tomorrow's starting pitchers, brought to you by Verizon Fios. Introducing Verizon Fios Quantum Speed. Internet twice as fast as anything America has ever seen. Jared Parker will go for the A's. He's 11-8 with a 3.51. Big start for CC Sabathia as he tries to get himself straightened out. 13-6, 3.63. Our coverage begins at 6 on the Yes Network. And game time will be right around 7:07 on My 9. New pitcher for the Yankees, Derek Lowe, and he deals up and in to JP Arancibia. Those are the numbers on Lowe.
So because Phil Hughes' pitch count got up there, he can only complete 5 innings. But he leaves on the winning side.
Now ball to Jeter. 1 away.
9 strikeouts for Phil Hughes tonight.
(10-4) Yankees lead, top of the 6th inning. Here's Echeverria. He's 0 for 2. Did reach on a pass ball after a strikeout in the 4th. In the 4th inning, 4 strikeouts for Hughes, and became only the 2nd pitcher in Yankee history to have 4 strikeouts in an inning. The other one, A.J. Burnett, did it last year.
Second time this year, Hughes has struck out 9 in a game. And the first time was way back in June 15th at Washington, as Jason Frazier gets up in the Blue Jays pen. 9 strikeouts in a 7-2 victory over the Nationals. Yankees went down and swept that series against Washington. You were there, Michael, remember?
Yeah.
Al was there too. Where's Al tonight, by the way?
He's out sick.
Hope you're feeling better, Al.
He's got that big series he has to do in Toronto, so I hope he's better in 6 days.
Yeah, that's right. You and he are scheduled to do that one. I'll be watching you guys.
Well, for sure, me. Payoff. Line drive. Just past the lunging Jeter. A base hit for Echeverria.
That's his 4th hit in 3 games. 4 for 9 in this series. Get the feeling this young man has a future.
That one gets past Martin. Echeverria goes to 2nd.
I don't know if this ball got in the dirt. It's another pass ball on Russell Martin. Off the edge of the glove. Certainly a catchable ball. Last time the Yankees have scored this many runs, they've got 10 tonight, was on September 9th at Baltimore. That's a game we worked together, 13-3.
There's a strike to goes. And a walk to Goes. Clay Rapata gets up. Girardi is taking no chances. He doesn't feel like trusting Lowe even with a 6-run lead. One out, runners on first and second, and here's Laurie.
The Yankees have only been able to throw 1-2-3 inning at the Jays in this game. That was the first inning. They actually had a 1-2-3-4 inning with the 4 strikeouts, of which Laurie was the 4th. He was the final strikeout for Hughes tonight. Number 9.
Oh, what a play by Cano. There's one, and that's all they'll get. Cano saved the base hit. First and third now with 2 outs.
Yeah, nice stop by Cano going to his left. He's going to lay out on a hot shot off the bat of Laurie, which was twisting away from him. Snap throw to Jeter. Laurie runs much too fast to complete the double play. But Yankees pick up the second out of the inning. Nicely done.
Pitch to Colby Rasmus is a strike. Oh, 2.
You know, you look at the Blue Jays, Michael, and I see a team that's on the cusp. You see some players with some tools, as Rapata and now Jabba Chamberlain working in the Yankee bullpen. You see somebody like Laurie can really run. He feels his position well. He needs to take that next step as maybe an offensive player. Colby Rasmus, we see him make some good throws in center field. Decent center fielder, can run the ball down. But, you know, he's only hitting .227. He does have some power with 22 home runs, but he's got to take a step up as a hitter.
And that's not going to do it. Nope. As he swings and misses for the final out. No runs a hit, no errors, 2 men left. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Cano will lead it off. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. It's been all Yankees as they lead 10-4 in the bottom of the 6th inning. And it'll be a new pitcher for the Blue Jays. Jason Frazier comes on. 49 strikeouts in 40 1/3 innings. He'll face the heart of the Yankee order, Cano, A-Rod, and number 5 hitter Russell Martin. Portends well for the Yankees if they can sweep the Blue Jays here. They have 4 more games with them at Rogers Center next weekend, so you have to judge whose schedule is tougher. Fouled away.
Well, the Yankees can hold on and win this one. You mentioned the 4 more games. The Blue Jays road trip continues. They will go down to Tampa Bay, and then they go to Baltimore and play 4 games in 3 days. They have a makeup game. There was a rain out. And they've got a doubleheader in Baltimore. This is the Blue Jays' last road trip of the season. They finish the season at home.
Well, then, Kenny, the Blue Jays are going to play a big role in who wins the American League East.
Yes, they will.
So 4 more games after this with the Yankees, 4 more games after this with Baltimore. Grounded up the middle, but they had him played perfectly. Echeverria throws him out, 1 down. This October, the Brooklyn Nets basketball is here on Yes. Get a first-hand look at Darren Williams, Joe Johnson, Brooke Lopez and company as they tip off the inaugural season in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. Game on, New York. Get ready for Brooklyn Nets basketball coming this October here on Yes.
So we can pick a game, Michael. And how about going to see the Celtics?
We'll get better seats that way. A little Brooklyn Nets lid.
You got pull in this city. What are you talking about?
Your cousin's the coach of the team. I think we get better seats.
It would be really nice to let us play.
If they're really desperate, they'll let us play. Ooh, up the middle.
Man.
A-Rod 8 for 19 lifetime against Frazier. Well, that's scary.
Yeah, it was almost certainly a low bridge for Frazier. I'm amazed at the quickness of pitchers in their hands and how quickly they can move their heads and get him out of the way. He almost flagged that one down. This is real time. Actually, it was by him before the time he got the glove up. Man. That's the hardest ball that A-Rod's hit in 2 days.
Here's Russell Martin. They announced the crowd here at the stadium tonight, 40,511.
We talked about Russell Martin starting to swing the bat a little better as the season's coming to a close. One thing, I think his bat has been a little quicker. Maybe he's got a little more of a compact swing.
He says he feels a lot fresher because Girardi did use Stewart a lot. He doesn't feel as worn down in September as he usually does.
Yeah, it's a long grind for catchers.
Swing and a miss. Ball gets away. He can't advance. Occupied base, but A-Rod does advance to second. So that'll be a wild pitch, allowing A-Rod to go to second.
Yeah, it does. Kind of chase one out of the strike zone. He helped Frazier out.
And he scored a wild pitch. Pitch is high. Frazier throws hard.
This is his second time around with the Toronto Blue Jays. He spent some time with the Chicago White Sox.
The 1-0. 2-0.
That little bloop double that Granderson had, I guess you could call it a gift double because nobody made a play on it. This is his first hit of the series.
Count 3-0. Blue Jay pitchers not that impressive, not pounding the zone.
Well, they lead the league in walks. They've handed out, what, 6 tonight?
Coach Bruce Walt can't be too happy.
Yeah, they walked 8 in the second game of the doubleheader last night. Three of the Yankee runs were put on base via the base on balls.
And that one gets away from Aaron Sivia, allowing A-Rod to move to third and a walk to Granderson. Another wild pitch.
This can't be fun for John Farrell to watch. It's season seems to be getting longer and longer and longer.
Here's Casey McGee. He's hitless in his last 13 at bats, 0 for 2 tonight. But he did walk and score a run. And strike.
You know, Michael, you think all the way back to spring training, we're down in Tampa, and you think of enthusiasm in every camp. You know, you go from place to place, and every team thinks this is going to be our year. We're getting off to a good start. Keep everybody healthy. We'll be able to do something. And there was a lot of enthusiasm in the Blue Jays camp, and I thought there should have been. But then, as we said, the injury bug, and all of a sudden now they're just kind of playing out the string. But as you said, they got a chance to determine what happens in the division. And you think back to last year, Baltimore's thinking the same thing last year when they beat the Red Sox 5 out of the last 7 times they played them and knocked them out. And that enthusiasm from Baltimore at the end, when they won that last game, it was like they had won the World Series. They were jumping all over Robert and Dino, and that kind of, I think that kind of springboarded the Baltimore Orioles into this year.
Buck Showalter thought that too. He said, I don't like to connect one year to the next. He said, but we did learn how to play in big games that meant a lot.
So I'm saying the same sort of thing could happen to the Toronto Blue Jays. But it doesn't seem it's going to happen in this series.
Fly ball right field. Sierra on the run makes the play, and that will do it. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left. Let's go to the 7th inning. Yankees lead the Blue Jays 10-4 here on Yes. Time for the game summary, brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. The Yankees lead 10-4, 10-8-0, leading 4-5-1. Swisher, a grand slam, his 3rd grand slam of the year. Ichiro, a double, a home run, 3 ribbies, and 2 runs scored. He's 9 for 11 in this series. And Derek Jeter, 2 ribby night, a run scored, and his 2 hits give him a 14-game hitting streak. Chris Dickerson is in left field now. The left fielder, Ichiro, moves to right. And the right fielder, Nick Swisher, moves to first. Derek Lowe in for his 2nd inning of work. Here's the 1-0. Cavline scoreboard 10-4. Pitch is low. (3-0) from Lowe. Yankees could use some length out of Lowe, not get the bullpen up and down. Been a starter this year. The bullpen's up busy right now, and he could easily give them 3-4 innings. Clay Rapado was up earlier.
2 of the next 3 hitters are left-handed.
And Encarnacion walks to start off the 7th.
Every leadoff walk seems to furrow the brow of any manager who sees his pitcher do it.
Count 1-0. And the pitch. 2-0 from Lowe. Joel Carreno is up. Oh. 2-1.
Well, the ideal for Derek Lowe right here is make that sinker sink enough to get a ground ball to Cano. Or Jeter. You turn it over, get 2 for the price of 1.
Grounded to second. Let's see if they turn 2. There's 1, and there's 2.
That's what you're looking for. That was tailor-made. The reason I say that because it's grounded towards the middle. Cano moving towards the bag to field the ground ball itself. A shorter throw to Derek Jeter, who turns it over to the Swisher, and there's the always enthusiastic Swisher on the tail end of that play.
Sierra takes outside.
Look at it. Check, big swing by Sierra, and all of a sudden liner into the seats. Fortunately, it hit the back of a seat.
Two and one. And the count 2-2. Strike 3, and Sierra down looking. No runs, no hits, no errors, and because of the double play, nobody left on base. At the end of 6.5, it's time for the 7th inning stretch here at the stadium. Yankees lead 10-4, but we'll stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
A silent prayer as we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now, join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
Bob and John Flaherty and Meredith Morakovitz on our postgame show. So the Nationals are going to the postseason, and they have not had a postseason game in D.C. since 1933. A long time coming. New pitcher for the Blue Jays. It's Joel Carreño. And some changes in the outfield as Mike McCoy takes over in left, and Anthony goes to center. Those are the numbers on Carreño.
And Colby Rasmus out of the ball game. Hard throwing right-hander.
Cadillac scoreboard 10-4, and here is Ichiro Suzuki. And a strike. Solo home run to right field to lead off the third. 2-run double with the bases loaded to right field in the fourth. Then he grounded out on a 3-0 pitch, the second in the fifth. 9 for 11 in the series. 0-2. And there's McCoy in left, and goes move from left to center.
When you're as hot as Ichiro, what'd you say? He was 7 for
7 for his last 7. He's 9 for 11 in the series.
9 for 11. You can't wait to get up there again.
And Ichiro down on strikes.
Hitters will tell you that they really seeing the ball well, and the game really slows down. No matter how hard a pitcher's hit, it seems like you get throwing. You seem to get a good look at it, slow it down, and you're putting your best swings of the season on. So Carreño picks up a strikeout.
Knicks 2 walks and a double. Fouled away.
We're checking on that Washington Senators team of 1933. See how far they went straight to the World Series in those days.
Is Kitty on that team?
I got his cell phone number. I can call him and ask him. I'll tell him you wanted to know.
No, don't. The 1-2 inside the Knicks. 2-2.
I don't think they won the World Series that year, though. If I can remember my World Series history.
Knicks goes down on strikes. Giants won that series in 5 games.
The New York Giants.
Yes. The New York baseball Giants.
Yeah.
Here's Derek Jeter. Derek is 2 for 3.
know, Jeter getting at bat here in a 10-4 game. Now we know he's had a tender ankle. Maybe this would be his last appearance of the game, but yeah, you give Nunez a chance to get in that bat. Give Derek a little rest going into the A series.
Driven out to right center. And right there is goes, and that'll do it. So 1-2-3 inning for Carreño. And we're going to the 8th. The Yankees are up by 6. They're leading 10-4. We go to the 8th inning. Corey Wade will take over for the Yankees. Derek Lowe gave them 2 innings. They got a 5-inning start tonight from Phil Hughes, and he is in line to pick up his 16th win. What the Yankees really are happy about, and they hope that they can do, is keep Robertson and Soriano out of this game. Well, you can vote along with us for tonight's Chevy Player of the Game. Text your vote to 42951 or just vote online at yesnetwork.com. Here are tonight's candidates. They are Nick Swisher with the Grand Slam, Ichiro Suzuki with 3 ribbies, and Derek Jeter with now a 14-game hitting streak. Text your vote to 42951, and standard text messaging rates certainly apply. And Corey Wade will deal to Kelly Johnson. See ya. Long home run for Johnson. It's 10-5 Yankees.
Oh. Welcome to the ball game. Kelly Johnson's 15th home run of the year, and it was not a cheapie. Into the second deck. Middle. Oh, and DeSantis certainly at the distance. My goodness.
Wow.
Power.
Lined into right field, and Ichiro will have to play that on a hop. Knocks it down with a bare hand to keep it from going by him. And Aaron Sibia with a single. So 2 pitches and a home run and a single. And as this type of performance is why Corey Wade got sent down to the minor leagues.
Yeah, his last appearance was back on September 9th. As Larry Rothschild's going to come out and put the brakes on this inning. Slow thing down a bit. And Corey Wade, 2 perfect innings with 3 strikeouts.
Well, after the final out, catch the WB Mason postgame as Bob Lorenz and John Flaherty bring you all of tonight's highlights and the latest updates on the playoff picture. Plus, Meredith Marakovitz is in the clubhouse for the team's reaction. Joe Girardi's managers report only on Yes. Monday scoreboard 10-5. Yankees lead. So that was the first pitch right there that Martin could catch. And the count 1-0 on Echeverria. There's a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, there's a story, a legendary story going around baseball. I think it was attributed to Yogi Berra, and he was in a situation where the pitcher was getting lit up. He didn't catch anything. The manager came out to the mound and said, "What kind of stuff does he have?" And Yogi said, "I don't know. I haven't caught any of it yet."
That's right.
There's Jabba Chamberlain getting up in the Yankee bullpen.
High fly ball. Long run for Ichiro. He runs out of room.
Yeah, Corey Wood was sent down to Scranton Wilkes-Barre, and he did make 17 appearances down at the AAA level and did pretty well. 2-0 with 5 saves and a 2.27 ERA. That's over 31 2/3 innings. He allowed only 8 earned runs. But as Michael said, in the early going this season, he was getting roughed up regularly at the big league level. That's why the Yankees sent him out. It appeared to me like he lost the feel for his changeup. He's not an overpowering pitcher to begin with, but the changeup and the fastball, the speeds got too close together, so he wasn't fooling anybody on either end.
Check swing did not go, said Gary Cederstrom. Echeverria swings and misses for the first out.
This is certainly an unusual swing. Very tentative, to say the least. Like he was swinging underwater.
And the fish won. Here's Anthony Goes. And there's a breaking ball strike.
Bills has had one of those no contact nights. He's walked twice and struck out. Russell Martin was able to stop that one, but he got no glove on it. Looked like he hit him in the arm.
Well, you know that Joe Girardi does not think that this game is in hand yet. You got a 38-year-old shortstop with a bad ankle. He's still out there, so he's not pulling any of his regulars when he's up 10-5. The bullpen has not been reliable enough for him to be comfortable with anything. And the only maneuver he made was to tighten up the defense by bringing in Dickerson.
That's been one of the typical moves, and move Swisher to first base. Ichiro to right. We've seen that. Another pitch in the dirt.
Count 3-2. Ripped into left center. And Granderson can't get there. It is off the tip of his glove. Moving to third is Aaron Sibia, and Ghost is at second with a double.
I wonder if the proximity of Dickerson made Granderson pull up and kind of short arm this one. Looked like he had a beat on it. Long run, of course, and he says, I got it. But Dickerson comes right in near his feet to avoid the collision, and the ball breaks off of Granderson's glove. I don't think there was any contact between the two, but you can feel the other outfielder near you, and maybe that caused him to take a little bit of a different route right at the very end.
Well, Wade departs, and Girardi goes to the bullpen. Second and third, one out. Yankees up by 5. With playoff hopes on the line for both. Come to Yes tomorrow at 6 for outing batting practice today and the pregame. Then after the game on My 9, come back to Yes for Tri-State Ford extra innings. And Saturday and Sunday, we've got full coverage of both games starting at 12:30 right here on Yes. Those are the probables for the series. Parker and Sabathia, Blackley and Nova, and Griffin and Kuroda. And now Jabba Chamberlain comes on. So Jabba against Brett Laurie.
Yeah, you saw the numbers. They have been on the upswing. Jabba's had some good outings lately. Fastball's been there. The command has been getting better. As they say, he throws it in the dirt. That was a slider.
Just to file this away, I walked past Rafael Soriano at about 6 o'clock today. And I said, can you go today? Held his hand out, moved it back and forth, said maybe. We'll see.
Huh?
Maybe is yes. That's just awful, though. You have a 10-4 lead, and you've got to get the closer who is pitching a lot. That's a bad job by the rest of the bullpen. Fouled away.
Well, it's up to Jabba now to get these outs, maybe without any further damage. And you get Soriano to sit down.
The fact that even with a 10-4 lead, he has to throw it all. Dribbled slowly to short. Jeter charge is going to be a tough play. Not in time. Run scores. Base hit for Laurie. And now it's 10-6 Yankees.
Yeah, part of the tool set for Laurie is that he can really run. And he sensed that base hit. Gets himself a run batted in as Aaron Sibia scores. Yeah, once Nix didn't have a chance, it was up to Jeter. This ball not hit hard enough. Here's the speed we're talking about. And he hustling, too. He sensed the base hit and run batted in.
Here's Mike McCoy. He entered in the 7th inning. This is a spot where Rasmus would be hitting. .184 hitter, a home run, and 6 ribbies. Grounded to short. Let's see if they turn 2. No, they can't. Another run scores, and it's 10-7 on the fielder's choice by McCoy. Ball not hit hard enough. So a ribby from McCoy.
Jeter charging, quickly gets a Cadeau, and he doesn't even step into the throw. Laurie's on him. Another run's going to score, and it's that much tighter.
And now it is a save situation if it stays this way going into the 9th. But here's Encarnacion trying to make it a little closer. There's a slider strike. One and one. Now it looks like Robertson's up in the bullpen. Now what we might have seen from Soriano, Kenny, is he'll throw out there to see if he can go, and then he will tell Mike Harkey to tell the dugout, I got it or not. And he's been pitching a lot lately. He pitched in 2 games yesterday. And if he doesn't feel as if he can go, then Harkey relays that to Girardi, and they have to make other plans.
Yeah, Robertson pitched in the day game yesterday, but not in the night game.
Soriano's still up. He's got a smile on his face, too. Joe's not smiling right now. 10-7 Yankees lead. 96-mile-an-hour fastball upstairs. Rays trailing 4-0 to the Red Sox in the 9th inning. Score 7 runs in the 9th to win that game 7-4. And Upton walk-off home run. Just a walk-off hit. Grounded through for a base hit. So Encarnacion reaches. And the Blue Jays have runners on first and second with 2 outs, and it was a home run by Upton. A 3-run home run to break a 4-4 tie. Right now the Yankees are just worried about what's happening here in the Bronx, as this game is getting nerve-wracking.
Encarnacion with his 2nd hit of the game. He's been on base 3 times, and what it does, it brings the tying run to the plate.
Adam Lind has power, 10 home runs this year. Trying to tie with that swing, 0-1.
Big tight slider from Jobber.
Good fastball, 0-2. First and second, 2 outs. And the pitch. 1-2.
See if he goes with that slider again, try and get the lid to bite.
High fly ball, right field. Ichiro makes the play, and the Yankees escape the top of the 8th inning, still with the lead. The Blue Jays score 3 to make it 10-7. We head to the bottom of the 8th.
Down with Michael Kay for GMC Presents Center Stage to your side of the Bronx native you've never seen before, as the 30 Rock star opens up about his childhood and how SNL changed his life. And next Thursday, catch a new Center Stage with Major League Baseball Commissioner Bud Selig. It's only on Yes, the Commissioner on Center Stage.
Interviewed him yesterday morning. It was good.
He's talked a lot about retirement lately.
He said he's definitely done it 2014.
Did you hand in your resume?
I don't think I'm in consideration. Pitches low to Swisher on the Hyundai scoreboard. It's a tight one now. Yankees 10 and the Blue Jays 7.
I remember we had him up in the booth here a few years ago. And he mentioned his favorite players were Joe DiMaggio, Robin Yount, and Hank Aaron.
He grew up a big Yankee fan.
Joe DiMaggio.
Told the story where his mom took him to Yankee Stadium. They drove from Milwaukee.
What?
Yeah.
It's not around the corner.
No, it's not. But they went to all three ballparks. And it was his 15th birthday, and he went to the stadium. And they wheel a big cake out to home plate. And he looks at his mom and said, "Mom, how'd you get him to do that?" It was a cake for Casey Stengel. It was his birthday, too. So you get stories like that from Bud Selig maybe next week.
That's great.
3-0. And Nick Swisher works a walk.
How about Nick Swisher's night here? A grand slam home run, 3 strikeouts, and now a walk. It's kind of like a Reggie Jackson night.
Here's Cano. He's 0 for 3 with a walk, and he came into the game with a minor 4-game hitting streak.
On the line.
Moreno deals a strike. You know, when you look at the way this game has played out for the Yankees, the fact that you had to get into the bullpen is because Phil Hughes couldn't pitch more than 5 innings because he threw so many pitches. And then you also have to wonder, Kenny, Derek Lowe's been stretched out. He gave them 2 shutout innings. Why would you go to Wade at that point and just have Lowe pitch another inning or 2? I mean, the first game that Lowe pitched for the Yankees gave them 4 innings and got a save. But he elected to go with Corey Wade after that.
To start the 8th inning.
Yeah. And Joe will explain that, I'm sure, on the post game.
Maybe the feeling is if he stretches them out even more, he wouldn't be available tomorrow.
I guess. I mean, he has a reason for everything. He's not just shooting into the wind.
No, he's not.
Foul away.
Well, the Yankees have more runs than hits in this game, and it's because the Blue Jays walked so many Yankees. They were handing out opportunities all night long. The Yankees kind of stepped through. They had the 7-run inning. Would you say it was their biggest inning of the year? Tied it, yeah. They only had 3 hits that inning. 7 runs on 3 hits. Of course, the big one was the grand slam by Nick Swisher.
And Cano swings and misses for the first out. After tonight, the Yankees have 3 games to go with the Oakland Athletics and a long homestand. Then on the road, the final road trip of the year. 3 against the Twins in Minnie, and then 4 at Rogers Center in Toronto against the Blue Jays. And the Yankees finish the season October 1st, 2nd, and 3rd at home against the Red Sox. So the last winning team that they play starts tomorrow night, the Oakland A's. Pitch is high.
And when you saw the A's the first time during the season, you might not have thought they would have had a winning season.
No, they look dreadful here.
That was the Yankees saw them out in Oakland in late May. And by the time the Yankees saw them again, that 4-game series in July, the A's won all 4 games by 1 run.
And if you remember that 4-game series, Kenny, that's what really started the Yankees' bad second half. They started to lose a little more games than they had been previously.
And shortly thereafter, on the same road trip, A-Rod's hand was broken by Felix Hernandez.
Count 3-0 on A-Rod.
The A's look like a completely different team in July. It added some parts. Their young pitchers looked very good in that series. Cespedes had come back. He didn't play in the first series in May. And if it wasn't for Mike Trout, you'd be talking about Yoenis Cespedes as the Rookie of the Year.
Turned him loose on 3-0.
Because when you look at all the rookie offensive categories, Trout leads most of them, and Cespedes is second. And Oakland won today over the Tigers. They jumped all over them, 12-4. They will be here tomorrow night. They're probably in town already.
I'm sure. Yeah, their game ended, I think, before 3. Maybe like 3:30, so they're almost certainly here. Strike 3. Alex down looking. 4th strikeout for Carreño.
I remember a lot of these players on the Blue Jays are trying to build on their resumes for next season. As we started play tonight, they were in last place, half a game in last place, just behind the Red Sox.
There's Russell Martin.
Some of these players like Carreño, Echeverria, Gose, Sierra. All of these players are trying to open some eyes in September, so they'll get maybe even a better shot when spring training rolls around in late February, early March.
One and two. And the pitch. Missed outside at 2-2. Blue Jays had a 2-0 lead as we went to the bottom of the 3rd. Yankees got a run, and then 7 runs in the 4th, then 2 runs in the 5th, and that's the Yankee scoring right there, 10 runs. Blue Jays got back 2 in the 5th and 3 in the 8th. So it's 10-7, bottom of the 8th inning. Runner at first base, 2 outs, 2-2 count on Russell Martin. Yankees won both games last night, yesterday, day-night doubleheader. And the pitch. 3-2. Runner goes, swing and a miss. And Carreño gets all 3 outs via the strikeout. The Yankees strand 1. We go to the 9th inning. Can the Yankees hold on? They lead 10-7 over the Jays. By Resident Evil Retribution in 3D, now playing in theaters. By Honda. Visit your Honda dealer right now for great deals. Only a Honda is a Honda. And by Blimpie. Fresh, flavorful, and always delicious. Try one of Blimpie's All-American wraps today. Blimpie, America's Sub Shop. Inside Yankee Stadium, Yankees lead 10-7, and the guess here is that Soriano is not able to go today after pitching twice yesterday. That's why I was throwing, see how he felt. Word went to the Yankee dugout that he wasn't able to go, so they'll ask David Robertson to try to pick up his second save. A lot of people forget that when Mariano went down, Robertson was anointed as the closer. He struggled, but before they could move him back to the 8th inning role, he got hurt. And then Soriano moved into that role and has not looked back. He has been lights out. So Robertson will deal to Moises Sierra, and there's a strike.
So in doing so in this inning, he has a chance to pick up his second save of the year.
Second save.
Yep.
And the Yankees do not have a day off the rest of the regular season. And they're not getting much length from their starters, so the bullpen's going to have to work. And the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. Sierra down on strikes.
Yeah, it took a little something off that last one, and Sierra way out in front. One of those helicopter type swings. And it's going to put him away. Good curveball out of the zone. He has shown that he will chase with 2 strikes.
Here's Kelly Johnson. Kelly had a long home run against Corey Wade starting off the 8th inning. His 15th home run of the year. 1-1. Many in the crowd of just over 40,000 have made their way home. A late hour, a long game. 1-1. 1-2.
Let's see how Robertson chooses to try and put Kelly Johnson away. Cut on that fastball. Trying to get one underneath the hands.
Swing and a miss. 1 out away.
Tried him upstairs, couldn't get him. Tried him downstairs and did get him. So Johnson has had a pretty good night otherwise. Strikes out for the second time. He's had a double, a home run, and 2 runs batted in. And he is out of there. Did he lose track of the count? That's 3. Yep. Unless they change the rules and we didn't hear it.
There's a strike. One strike away. Aaron Sibia waits. Outside. Swing and a miss. An impressive 9th inning for David Robertson. He strikes out the side, and the Yankees win this one 10-7. Another nice night for Ichiro. Nick Swisher with a grand slam as well. Phil Hughes picks up his team-leading 16th win and the 2nd save of the year for David Robertson. And here's the final out.
Here it is, and it's no messing around fastball. Swung on and missed. 3 hitters. 3 strikeouts swinging for David Robertson, picking up his 2nd save of the year.
And with that, the Yankees gain a half game on the idle Orioles. The Orioles are 1 game back. Each team has 13 games remaining. Stick around for the postgame show to find out who's tonight's Chevy Player of the Game. Derek Jeter extended his hitting streak. The Yankees sweep the 3-game set. A lot of good stuff happened here at the stadium. We'll come back. We'll talk about it. Then Bob and John and Meredith on the postgame show. A hug for Susan from Nick Swisher.